All right, let's jump right in. This is way more than just a story about code. It's a story about a high-stakes rivalry, a clash of titans, really. It's about three companies that saw where AI was heading and raced to build its very foundation. This is the story of the battle for the AI database.
Okay, picture this. It's the early 2020s, and artificial intelligence is just exploding onto the scene. All of a sudden, we needed a totally new kind of digital brain. We're not talking about your grandpa's database for storing spreadsheets or customer lists. No, this was for storing understanding itself. A whole new kind of database had to be born.
So, what is this new weapon in the AI arsenal? Well, it's called a vector database, and honestly, the key idea is pretty mind-blowing. Instead of searching for exact keywords, it searches for meaning. It literally turns everything, text, images, audio, you name it, into a unique numerical fingerprint called a vector. And then it just finds the closest conceptual match. So think about it. It's the difference between searching for the word boat and getting back results for yacht, ship, and canoe. It just gets it.
Look, this wasn't just some minor upgrade. It was a full-blown revolution. Because vector databases cracked a problem that was basically holding the entire field of AI hostage. And that problem was, how do you make a computer understand all the messy, unstructured stuff we humans create every single day? So how does this magic trick actually work? It's pretty cool. First, you've got these machine learning models, and they create something called embeddings. Yeah, those are the digital fingerprints we were just talking about. The vector database, its whole job is just to store these things. That's it. So when you go to ask a question, it's not looking for words. It's looking for the conceptual fingerprint of your question and matching it to all the other fingerprints it has stored away. This is the engine. This is what lets AI finally understand context.
And you know what they say? Where there's a revolution, there's a huge opportunity. Sure enough, three companies saw this wide-open frontier and just charged right in. But here's the thing. They each had a totally different playbook, a completely different strategy for how they were going to win.
And here they are, the main event. Meet the contenders. First up, you've got Pinecone. Their whole bet was on simplicity. Make it so easy to use, everyone has to adopt it. Then, in this corner, Weaviate, the champion of the open source world, all about giving developers total control. And finally, Milvus, the absolute behemoth, the heavyweight, built for one thing and one thing only: insane performance at a massive scale. Three totally different philosophies, all chasing the exact same prize. This is going to be good.
All right, so the pieces are on the board, and the battle is on. And you have to understand, this was never just about who had the slickest technology. No, this was about who had the smarter strategy. Who could win over the hearts and minds of the developers, the people actually building the next generation of AI.
So let's talk about Pinecone's game plan. They came onto the scene with a pitch that was just genius in its simplicity. You've got all these developers frantically trying to build AI apps, right? The pressure is on. And Pinecone just walks in and offers them an easy button. No complicated setup, no managing servers. Just a simple, powerful tool that, well, it just works right out of the box.
So what were their winning moves? How they pull it off? Well, first, they made it a fully managed service. That means you just sign up and you're good to go. Super simple. But their real masterstroke? Integrating with super popular AI development frameworks like LangChain. That was a game changer. All of a sudden, for literally thousands of developers, Pinecone wasn't just another option. It became the default choice, the path of least resistance.
But here's the thing. Not every developer wants an easy button. Some developers want to see the whole engine. They want to get their hands dirty. And Weaviate saw that. They totally got it. So they came in waving the flag of open source, offering this powerful alternative to Pinecone's managed service. Their whole bet was on freedom, on control.
And you can really see their strategy laid out here. Weaviate's whole game was about community power. Because it was open source, any developer could pop the hood, tinker with the engine, customize it, and even contribute their own improvements back. It's a totally different vibe. They also threw in some really clever features, like hybrid search, which gave you the best of both worlds. So who did this appeal to? It appealed to the builders, the architects, the people who wanted absolute control.
Okay, so then you have the third major player in this game, Milvus. And Milvus, they kind of didn't care about the whole ease versus openness debate. They were playing a different game entirely. They were laser-focused on a very specific customer, the huge enterprise company with a data problem so big, so massive, that it needed a whole different class of engine to solve it.
Milvus was built for one thing and one thing only: raw, unapologetic power.
It was backed by this big enterprise company, Zillis, and it was engineered from the ground up to handle billions, yeah, with a B, of vectors. See, when you're dealing with that much data, speed is literally everything. That's why they went all in on stuff like GPU acceleration to make it lightning fast. Honestly, it's like they were building a Formula One race car in a world where everyone else was driving a family sedan. So when you look at these three, you realize this isn't just about a list of features. This is a fundamental philosophical divide. It's about what developers and companies actually value. Is it the sheer convenience of a service that just works? Is it the freedom and community that comes with open source? Or, when it comes right down to it, is it all about the raw, unyielding performance you need for massive scale? Each one of these rivals placed a huge bet on one of those answers.
But here's the really interesting part. While these three were locked in this epic battle for market share, their fight was actually fueling something much, much bigger. It was basically providing the rocket fuel for the entire AI revolution. The tools they were building were powering the smartest applications the world had ever seen.
In fact, this whole rivalry helped make one of the most important ideas in modern AI famous. It's called RAG. That stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation, and it's a really simple three-step dance. Step 1, you ask an AI a question. Step 2, before it even thinks about answering, the AI queries a vector database to retrieve the most relevant documents. Step 3, it uses that specific info to generate a really smart, accurate answer. This right here is the secret sauce. This is what makes AI feel like it actually knows what you're talking about.
And once you know about it, you start seeing this technology everywhere. I mean, it is the brain behind those surprisingly helpful customer service chatbots. It's how your favorite streaming service seems to know exactly what you want to watch next. It's even used in banking to spot really complex fraud. So this database war, it wasn't just some niche tech battle. It was literally building the foundation for the new AI-powered world we're all living in.
And that pretty much brings us right up to today. Each of these companies has managed to carve out its own piece of the pie. You could say Pinecone captured the startups, Weaviate captured the builders, and Milvus captured the giants. But don't get it twisted. This war is far, far from over.
Because when you peel back all the layers, you realize this fight was never really about databases. It was, and it still is, about something way bigger. It's about who's going to own the future of search itself. Who gets to write the rules for how we find information, now that computers can finally understand not just what we type, but what we actually mean?
So, that leaves us with the big question, doesn't it? As AI just keeps getting more and more powerful, which one of these ideas is going to win? Will it be the simple convenience of the easy button, the creative freedom you get with open source, or the brute force power of massive performance? Whatever the answer is, you can be sure it's going to define the next chapter of artificial intelligence.